Hey everyone, this is Kit of Harlan's Media. We are filming downtown city of Chicago. I am with one of the candidates who's running for Cook County Assessor, Andrea Raila. We interviewed her last week in regards to her petitions being challenged. So essentially, this is the second time you are here. Now, for our viewers and subscribers, what is happening? What was the aftermath of the first hearing that you had to deal with?
Well, we had the first hearing on about a week ago, and it lasted at least 3 hours because we had two objectors. We had the Cook County Democratic Party Chairman and Assessor, Joe Barrios, and we had the Frederick Kagi, who is the my other challenger. So two objections to us, and then we were given a week break from there so that we could get everyone up to investigate and examine the actual signatures that they were challenging, the 23,585 signatures that our supporters gathered to see if they were registered voters. Now, of course, not everyone is a registered voter, or they sometimes think they're a registered voter, but they're registered at the wrong address. So we understand that process, and of course we had to get a huge number over the minimum, which was 8,525. But the process is so unfair, and I feel so unconstitutional. It really, it's an equal rights violation because many states, they don't even require this type of objection. In this next hearing that we sat through and are not finished, it was to be scheduled from noon to 1. It went on from noon to 2 o'clock. And then we had to leave that objector, Frederick Kagi, to go into the next one to face the objections of the incumbent assessor. But with the first objector, he objected to almost every single one of our signatures. It's a gunshot approach. It's a fishing expedition. I can say this. For 30 years, I have circulated hundreds of thousands of petitions. I have gathered over 1 million or more signatures over 30 years. I have never been once subpoenaed as a circulator. I have circulated for candidates, and I've circulated for many issues. Never once in 30 years have I ever been subpoenaed to see if I am the circulator. I'm also a notary, and I've been a notary for about 30 years. In our case, they have subpoenaed 33 notaries to see if they are truly notaries registered with the Illinois Jesse White's office and the Secretary of State. And I have never once been subpoenaed for the hundreds of thousands of petitions and documents that I've notarized through my years that are in the political campaigns and so forth. This is just a travesty. They have subpoenaed 33 of our notaries and an additional 23 or so. Almost 60 people that are notaries and petition passers are going to receive a sheriff at their doorstep knocking on their door saying, you have to come down to the Board of Elections, you have to prove that you're a notary, you have to prove that you signed these documents, you have to prove where you live. And it's outrageous.
I think for what a lot of people want to know is how will this affect your campaign in the long term in regards to being on the ballot, because there will be a time limit, and in March 20th is when the Illinois primaries will happen.
Correct. The Illinois primary is March 20th. We are only 10 weeks away. I am enmeshed in a very expensive objection where I have to spend $20,000 on lawyers to keep me on the ballot. Those resources and the resources of my supporters, every day showing up, 10 of my supporters have to be in that examination room, and for me to show up, it takes away the resources, the limited resources that I have to get my platform out there to talk about the real issues of property tax reform and the problems in the system. And I'm up against two men who are objecting to me, the only woman, Democratic woman, that has run for this office in 85 years. And they're objecting to me, both of them. I think that that's just blatantly unfair. Not only that, of the 170 Cook County candidates that are running, of the 48 that are being challenged, majority are minorities and women. So this whole objection process is unconstitutional in my viewpoint and in others' viewpoints, in my attorney's viewpoint. And it's unfair, and it's an excessive burden on someone like myself who has limited resources. Both of my opponents have said they're going to spend over $2 million on the campaign. I don't have those kind of resources, but I have a lot of support for my candidacy, and I think I'm going to stay on this ballot, but it really is an unfair process.
All right, and final question, what will be your next steps going forward after today?
After today, we will have to man the machines at the Board of Ed, 10 people, every day until January 11th to secure and defend our 23,885 signatures. But again, a week from now is scheduled another hearing where I'll have to defend, all 23 circulators and all 33 notaries that they've asked to come before the board to testify that they are a notary, they did sign it. And by the way, I happen to be one of those notaries, and I notarized about 50 to 60 petitions, and they want me, the candidate, who is a qualified notary, to defend my own notary of those 55 ballot sheets. In addition, my own son is a notary. He's 21 years old, you have to be 18 to be a notary, and he indeed has to go in and defend his signatures. So they are just far-reaching, and it's just quite unfair because, again, it takes me away from the need to get on the telephone and raise money and get out there to community groups, ask for their endorsements, and explain the whole process of the property tax bill system that has to be revamped and overhauled.
All right, thank you so much for joining Hard Lens Media, and to all our viewers and subscribers, peace.
You're watching Hard Lens Media.